guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, and if you're not new, welcome back. So today we are going to be talking about how to fall in love with yourself. Now, this is something that I'm very excited to talk about, because this is something that I truly had to do for myself. This is something that I've been working on for years, and essentially I just realized that I always felt like I loved myself, right? Like I always felt like, yeah, like I love me, I love myself, but I realized that I had certain insecurities and I had things about myself that I didn't love, and I had like just certain insecurities that were really weighing down on me. And I'm like, you know what? I don't fully love myself. So I went on a self-love journey to truly understand what it truly means to love yourself, and just go on that journey of self-discovery and truly loving yourself. So please understand that it takes time. You are not gonna just love 100% of yourself tomorrow just because you're now saying, yeah, I'm going on my self-love journey and I'm gonna love myself by tomorrow. It takes time. It truly takes time. So just be patient with yourself, give yourself grace, and know that you are working on doing the things and taking certain actions to love yourself. Another thing to keep in mind is that when it comes to loving yourself, you truly have to go within and do the self-reflection and be honest with yourself. If you are not going to be honest with yourself, then how are you ever going to truly love yourself? You have to be able to face the uncomfortable truth about yourself, the things you do, the things you don't do, and be prepared to sit with that. The first thing that I recommend you do is to reflect on your flaws. Make a list of your strengths and your weaknesses. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? I want you to make a list. Make a list of all your strengths, and then go ahead and make another list of all your weaknesses. And then really just reflect on that. Just really sit with that and reflect on how they show up, what areas of your life they show up in, and just sit with that. That's all you have to do, is be aware of it and sit with it. The second thing that I want you to do is identify the things you don't like about yourself. Is it a physical feature? Is it something mental? Is it something with your personality? What are the things that you don't like about you? Not what other people don't like about you, what you don't like about you. Once you have identified these, ask yourself, is it something you can change? Is it something that you can change and is realistically within the realm of possibility for you to change? Example, I have always grown up on the bigger side, right? I'm a thicker girl. My mom is thick. My aunties are thick. A lot of the women in my family are thick. We are not skinny. We're not bony. We're not petite. We're thick. So I've always been thick. And that was always an insecurity for me, for sure. And it didn't allow me to fully show up as my most confident self because I had that insecurity in the back of my mind. And I've identified that I didn't like it, right? And then it's like, okay, can I change this? Yes, I can. I have the power to eat more healthy, to stop eating junk food, stop eating late. I have the power to exercise daily and drink more water, get more sleep. Like, that is within my... So I've always been thicker, and I had to ask myself, is it something I can change? Yes, I can change it. And then I took the necessary steps to change it. I started actively trying to change my diet. Stop eating junk food and fast food. Stop buying junk food and fast food. Like, when I'm at the house, I only have healthy snacks. I don't buy junk food. I don't buy fast food. Well, you know, I have my moments. Sometimes I do have my moments where, okay, I'm on a little stint right now. I'm eating what I want, but I'm gonna get back on it next week. But for the most part, I only buy healthy snacks. If you are coming to my house bring your own snacks. Because I'm not the house to have all the snacks. And essentially that's what you have to do. You have to find that attribute that's like, okay, I don't like this about myself. Can I change it? Yes, I can change it. I can change my actions. I can change my habits. I can do X, Y, and Z. And eventually over time, I can get to where I want to be. But some things that you don't like about yourself, you can't change. For example, I have big feet. And this is something that I really don't talk about my feet. I don't even like to bring attention to my feet. But I'm at the point where, like I said, I'm at the point where I truly love myself. So I feel like I'm comfortable enough to share this with you guys because nobody can make me feel bad. Like, I'm telling you guys, hey, I don't like my feet. But if someone, you know, made a comment about my feet today, like, it wouldn't get to me because I know who I am. Like, it is what it is. Anyways, back to the point. My feet are big. I have big feet. And sometimes I'm like, dang, like, could I get surgery on my feet? Like, could I get surgery to make my feet, you know, slimmer? Because I have wide feet. Like, I have wide feet, I have flat feet, and I wear a big shoe size. So I'm just like, what can I do? Like, maybe I could go get foot surgery. Now, could I go get foot surgery? Maybe. But it would probably be very, very, very expensive. And honestly, is that practical? Like, not really. Because if I get foot surgery, I might mess up the whole, like, placement of my bones. It's just like, is it really worth it? Like, nah, not really. So that's something that I really can't change. I mean, maybe if I was a millionaire, like, I could change it. But it's just like, that's just something that it's not practical to change. And it's not really necessary. So that's just something where it's just like, I have to learn to accept it and just love it. It is what it is. It's what God blessed me with. It's what God gave me. It's what he wanted me to have. It's what I have, and I have to deal with it, and I can't change it, and it is what it is. So once you identify your flaws, reflect on each one and say, is this something I can change? If it's something you can change, make a plan to change it. But if you can't, learn to accept it and love it. My third tip is to learn to love and accept who you are. God made you in his image. I'm gonna say that again. God made you in his image. Learn to accept you for you. God made you how he wanted you to be. So love it and accept it. There were so many other things about myself that I was like, you know, insecure about. And I just had to be like, you know what? This is how God made me. Like, God made me in his image, and I'm not gonna let anybody make me feel bad about it. For example, another example is my voice. My voice, first of all, I've never been insecure about my voice, but I'm aware that I have a unique voice. And sometimes when I would speak up in larger rooms, like in class, in law school, like, the whole room would look back once I started talking, because they're just like, it's like they have to put a face to that voice. Like, who sounds like that? And like, people would make little comments about my voice here and there or whatever, and it wouldn't bother me because I reflected on it, and I'm just like, my voice is something I cannot change. Like, this is a voice God gave me. This is my voice. Like, I can't go get surgery on my voice. I can't go and I can't buy any products to change my voice. I cannot do anything to change my voice. This is the frequency that God wanted you and everyone else to hear me on, and that's just what it is. And I've never felt insecure about my voice. I've never cared. I swear that is something that nobody has really bothered me by any comment that they've made about my voice, because I'm just like like, what am I gonna do? So you have to learn to truly love and accept who you are. Number 4, make a list of affirmations about the things you don't like about yourself. For example, if you're thicker, you want to say things like, I love my body. I love to work out. I love to go to the gym. Because you are training yourself to think like the person you want to become. Set affirmations about the things you don't like, and make sure that they're present tense, and make sure that they are affirming what you want to happen and what you want to be true. And if you keep repeating it and saying it every day, it's going to be true. Guys, I so many affirmations where I would say, I'm healthy, I like to work out, I eat healthy, like I work out daily, I exercise daily. Like even when I didn't exercise daily, like I knew that that's the person I wanted to become, and I would say those affirmations. I'm now that person. Like my default mode is to eat healthy. My default mode is to exercise. Like I'm now the person where when I don't exercise, I feel guilty. I feel bad about it. I feel like, oh my gosh, I need to get in the gym. So even if that's not who you are now and you can't picture yourself like that, don't worry about that. Envision who you want yourself to be and write a present tense affirmation that reflects that. If you know that you want to have a business one day, I am a business owner. I am an entrepreneur. I am business minded. I am goal oriented. Write down those I am business savvy. I am financially savvy. You want to write those type of things down and constantly affirm it to yourself every single day, and you will attract that energy to you, and you will start thinking like that, and eventually you will become that person. The next thing I want you to do is get to know the new version of yourself. Try new things, develop new hobbies, identify the things you love and don't love. When you are falling in love with yourself, you have to truly get to know yourself. And that means you have to peel back the layers of yourself. You might have grown up and convinced yourself that you really like to do X, Y, and Z. You really love to play soccer. And then once you go down the journey of loving yourself, you realize, you know what? I don't really love to play soccer. I just play soccer because my mom loved that I played soccer. And my mom loved to brag about me to her friends and family that I was such a good soccer player. But I didn't really do that for me. I did that for her. I really love to paint. Painting really lights me up. That's what I really love. So then you start going to painting classes and you start buying canvases and buying paint and paintbrushes, and you paint in your spare time. That is developing new hobbies. That's getting to know yourself. Okay, so my camera died. Sorry if the angle is a little bit off, but I was just saying to make sure that you truly get to know yourself and do activities that you love and that you're inspired by and that lights you up and that fills up your cup. And really try to think back to when you were a child. What were the things that you did that really brought you joy? Like what were the activities that you just naturally did and it brought you joy, it satisfied you, it made you happy? Get back to those, develop those hobbies, do that in your spare time, because it's going to allow you to truly get back to who you are at your core, and you're going to love yourself for it. My next tip is to show up for yourself. When you are on a journey of loving yourself, you have to show up for yourself. At the core of loving yourself, what self-love truly means is you love yourself so much that you are not going to take any actions that are in direct correlation to danger. You are not going to take any actions that is going to endanger yourself, that is going to put yourself at high risk, that is going to be, adverse to you and your highest good. That's going to negatively impact you, right? So essentially, you're not going to take actions that are not for your highest good. You are only going to do things that are in your best interest. So if you love yourself, you are going to do the things you say you're going to do. If you say tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and go on a run, then tomorrow you need to wake up at 5 a.m. and go on a run. If you say tomorrow I'm not going to eat any carbs, tomorrow you're not going to eat any carbs. I'm going to drink a gallon of water every day for the next 30 days. Then you're going to drink a gallon of water every day for the next 30 days. When it comes to loving yourself, you have to show up for yourself and you have to do the things you say you're going to do. When you do the things you say you're going to do, you're making a commitment to yourself, and you're holding that commitment to yourself. You're telling yourself that you trust yourself. You're keeping that commitment to yourself, and you're showing, hey, I can trust myself. When I say that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And that is crucial to loving yourself. You have to be disciplined and you have to build that self-trust with yourself. And you do that by sticking to your word. Now, I will say that it's not as easy as just saying, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and then tomorrow you do it, right? Like, you kind of have to build a habit, but you have to, you know, when you say you're gonna do something, you have to actually try to do it. If you say you want to do something, you're aware that you want to make a change and change this habit and change something about yourself, then you have to actively try to make that change. Like, that's showing up for yourself, and that's showing yourself that you love yourself and that you are willing to take the necessary actions for your highest good and to reach your highest potential. My next tip is to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries with other people, and you need to set boundaries with yourself. When it comes to other people, you just have to know what you will and won't tolerate from other people. You have to know, okay, I'm not gonna tolerate people talking to me in this type of way. I only want people to talk to me with respect, and if you don't talk to me with respect, I'm not gonna tolerate that in my life. I'm not gonna tolerate cheaters. I'm not gonna tolerate liars. I'm not gonna tolerate disloyalty, dishonesty. There are certain boundaries that you have to uphold within yourself. And you don't have to announce them to the world. You don't have to announce them to people. You just have to know. You just have to be aware of what your boundaries are. And once that line has been crossed, okay, you know, you're not associating yourself with that person anymore. You're not dealing with that person anymore. You're distancing yourself. Or maybe you will have a conversation with them and say, hey, I don't like when you do this. I love you. I want you in my life. But if you continue to do this, we're not going to be in each other's life. We may not be in each other's life anymore, because these behaviors are the things that I don't tolerate from people. So that's something you have to think about, how you handle asserting your boundaries. But in my opinion, I don't think boundaries have to be asserted. You just have to know what they are, and then make sure you uphold them. So that maybe when that person comes back, you're just not going to treat them the same. You're not going to hold them to the same standard and level that you held them at. They're no longer holding a high spot in your mind, or a high, they're not on the same level that you used to hold them at, because you know that they have impeded on your boundaries, and that's not something you tolerate. And then you have to set boundaries with yourself. For example, if you know you want to get up early every morning, well, you have to go to bed early. So you have to set that boundary of, hey, at 10 p.m., I'm shutting everything down and I'm going to bed. At 9 p.m., I'm shutting everything down. I'm getting in the shower and I'm going to start unwinding so that by 10 p.m., I'm ready to go to sleep. It's certain boundaries you have to set with yourself. Me, not buying junk food. That's a boundary that I set with myself. When I go grocery shopping, I don't buy junk food. Like, literally, I'm not buying Gushers. I'm not buying chips. I'm not buying no like super heavy processed foods. I'm buying healthy foods. I'm buying fruit. I'm buying whole foods. I'm buying eggs, protein meats, spinach, veggies. Like, that's what I'm buying. You gotta set those boundaries with yourself. Number 8, you have to speak positively to yourself. When you are learning to love yourself, you have to give yourself grace, and you have to speak positively to yourself. No one else cares about you like you do. It just is what it is. We are all humans on this earth. We are all going through so many things, and no one is going to care about you like you. So you need to be your best friend. You need to be your biggest fan, your biggest supporter. You need to be your own motivation. Uplift yourself. Speak positively to yourself. And if you know that you are someone that speaks negatively to yourself, you have to catch yourself, and then you have to check yourself. You gotta say, hey, that wasn't nice, and replace that with something nice. If you are overweight and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so fat, ugh, and then you catch yourself like, wait, hold on, no, you're not fat, you're beautiful and you're healthy. Like, you have to replace those negative thoughts and those negative patterns with positive thoughts and positive statements. My last tip on how to love yourself is to define who you are, and do not let other people define who you are for you. What I mean by that is, do not let other people tell you who you are, okay? A lot of the times, people are not happy with themselves. People have insecurities, people have flaws, and a lot of people don't really deal with their insecurities. They don't deal with what's on the inside. A lot of people have trauma, pain, hurt, insecurity, and they do not take the time to deal with that. And they oftentimes like to project that on other people. They like to project their negativity and everything that they have going on onto you. And that projection comes in many forms. Like maybe somebody lashes out on you. Maybe somebody says, you're so this and you're so that and you're this. And it's just coming out of left field. It's like, where is this even coming from? Why are you criticizing me? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you saying this? Why are you, where did that even come from? And people have their own insecurities. And for whatever reason, it can sometimes trickle into them putting you down and picking apart your flaws and telling you, oh, you're this, you're that, da da da. Don't let people tell you who you are. You know you better than anyone else. And that's why it is important to get to know yourself, because when you truly get to know yourself, no one can tell you who you are. You can't tell me about me more than me, okay? So you want to get to that point where you truly know who you are, so you don't let other people define you. Don't let other people tell you, oh, you're selfish. You think you know everything. You're too sensitive. You're this, you're that. No, I'm not. Maybe that's the perception you have of me because you made up a version of me in your mind and you have on these rose-colored glasses and you can't really see me for who I truly am. But no, actually, I'm not that. Like, I don't know why you think that, but that's on you. I know who I am and I'm not that. So you have to really know yourself, and you have to not let other people tell you who you are. Like, people are going to try to call you this, call you that, call you that. And people do this to make themselves feel better about themselves. Like, they try to put you down and they try to find little flaws about you to make them feel better about themselves. And you can't let people do that. You can't, no. So those are my tips that I have on how to love yourself. Those are the things that I did to love myself, and that I do to love myself. And please go home, or please try these. Please implement all the things that I said, and then let me know how they work out for you. Like, truly let me know if these work for you. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below and let me know what tip was your favorite.